expect Gurmaj to be on the So, I did mention earlier, but everyone should have an Ashman cup with an Ashman spoon in front of you. You should have a little bowl of things as well. Just make sure so the one plate, just make sure you've got your things. When you need a top up plate during the actual yagya, and you not rasa one at this time. But yeah, for now, just make sure you've got the same thing next to the first initiation. You've got a deep bag also to take the first. Wonderful. Right over here. Because so was carried. So the procedure will be after we change the neck beads and Guru Maharaj gives his lecture, he'll call you one by one to go up and offer your basic to Guru Maharaj here, and then you will take the actual camera, the laptop, and take it off. And then your name, and then Bishop will give you your beads, your basics. If there's any confusion, you're welcome to let me down and ask. Don't feel too nervous. We're one big family here. So in the family, you don't feel afraid to ask for anything. So if there's anything that you're confused about, just okay, let us begin. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinaditamastu Ma Vishvisavahai Om Shanti 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 Asya Karmana Punyam Bhavantu Dhruvantu Om Punyam 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 Asya Karmana Swasti Bhavantu Dhruvantu Ayushmate Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Asya Kalmanariti Bhavantu Dhruvantu Om Vidyatam Om Vidyatam Om Vidyatam Om Swastina Govinda Swastino Ashikantano Swastino Vasudevo Vishnu Tadatu Swastino Narayano Naro Bhai Swastino Padmanabha Purushottama Tadatu Swastino Vishmaksheno Vishveshwara Swastino Rishikesho Hanir Bhagavato Dudatu Om Swastina Vainitayo Hari Swastino Jnasuto Hani Bhagavato Dudatu Swasti Swasti Sumangalaya Kesho Mahan Shri Krishna Satchidananda Gana Sadvetvareshwaro Dudatu Om Swastino Indrakshapradashava Swastina Pusha Vishvaveda Swastina Tasha Vishnanemi Swastina Bhyapsate Dudatu Om Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarna Karinam Chintamani Prakarsatmatasamsa Vriksha Lakshmi Sahasra Chatatam Brahmate Ramanam Laksha Visheshu Sarabhira Vipalayantam Govindamati Purusham Samaham Enum Vananta Parasitma Ganayatasham Bharmavatam Samasitam Sudasundaramidam Tandat Bhagoti Samaniya Visheshka Shobham Govindamati Purusham Samaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalakadva Namaya Vansi Ragham Gadapra Nayaseri Kadadinasam Shaman Sikanta Nantam Yata Prakasham Govindamati Purusham Samaham Bhajami Anga Niyasya Sakadindriya Viktimanti Bhakyanti Panti Kalayanti Shinapyadanti Ananda Chinmaya Sadulbala Vigrahasya Govindamati Purusham Samaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayoghanam Cha Vede Shudurlabha Madurlabha Mahma Bhaktav Govindamati Purusham Samaham Bhajami Andastukoti Satasara Sampradamyo Vayo Ratapi Manasom Nikondavanam Sokyapsiyatra Padasinya Vichinta Tasme Govindamati Purusham Samaham Bhajami Eko Tyataur Sarisunda Gadanda Kotim Yakshakshirasti Jagadanda Jayaya Danta Annandarasta Paramaham Jayantarastam Govindamati Purusham Samaham Bhajami Gadha Vavadita Diyo Manujasta Kaiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimata Nayana Bhusha Sukta Gameva Nigamata Hitastu Banki Govindamati Samaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhagita Tabi Eva Nijarupa Taya Kalabhi गोलोक एव निपतस्य किलात्मभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि हेमञ्जनाच्युरितभक्तिविलोचनेन तदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गन्धुना स्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि नानादिमूर्तिसुफलानि अमेन तीष्टान् नानावतारमकरोतु वनेषु किन्तु कृष्णस्वयं समभवत् परमात्मान्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्य प्रभाप्रभवतो जगदन्धकोटि कोटिश्वशेषु वसुधादिविभूतिबिन्दं तत्कं मनिष्ठमनन्तशेषरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि मायादियस्य जगदन्धशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्यकद्विषयभेदविकायमाना तद्भावनं विपरसत्त्वं विशुद्धसत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मकया मनसु यात्रादिनां प्रतिफलं स्मरतं मुपेत्य तेनायितेन भुवनानि जयस्य दर्शं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गोलोकनाम्नि विजधानि तले च तस्य देवी मनीष हरिधाम सुखेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावनिचया विदितस्य येन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ईश्वरा परमा कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरागे गोविंद सर्व कारण कारण. We can have the next exchange. We have some. Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare So we have a 2 minutes. So I guess we're going to wait for Maharaj. Just in the meantime, so everyone's had their next exchange. Right? If we want, what we can do is some devotees can down and Prabhupada. Because it will speed up. Like we want, we can, I don't know which order. Maybe. What is that? Yeah, maybe for the answer. And also Prabhu, like Prabhupada, I'm saying for the ladies, but not for the that,
Hare Krishna Jalangi Mataji, Guru Maharaj has arrived online. If you could please welcome him.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj, for giving this wonderful shelter to these disciples and aspiring disciples this evening. We'll hand over to you in a short bit.
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Can Guru Maharaj speak?
Yes.
No? Yes, sir. Haribol to all the Vaishnavas. Chota Bada Bhakti Gana. Bhakti Gana means all the Vaishnavas, whether neophyte or whether advanced. Krishna's Kaviraj praise. Chota Bada Bhakti Gana Vandanam of my respects. So first I will offer my respects to my Guru Maharaj and our Guru Vaga or Guru Parampara. Om Agyanatamarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshmantam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tidanti Sambadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapata Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitantam Shijivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Brijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishavitam Sya Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamani Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvayevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nevishesha Shunyavadi Praskacha Visatane. So we're doing an initiation ceremony, and according to Vaishnava tradition, This is part of making spiritual advancement. Srila Prabhupada introduced this when he went to America, New York, and he did the first initiation when Krishnastami, 1966, and he initiated 11 devotees, one lady, Janaki Prabhu, and 10 men. So Prabhupada introduced this system, which of course has been going on in India for many thousands of years. There are different levels of spiritual advancement, and the first level would be Shraddha, and Shraddha means you have some faith in Vaishnavas, the holy name, Prasadam. You're attracted, you have some faith, Shraddha. And then as this Shraddha develops, you want to associate with devotees. So that's called Sadhu Sangha. Sangha means to associate. So this is why Srila Prabhupada created the ISKCON. He gave his Sadhu Sangha, his association, one person in the whole of outside of India who was a pure devotee of Krishna. He gave his Sangha association. So Sadhu Sangha means we associate, and we like to associate with devotees. And we're not so keen to associate with non-devotees. You can see this in the material world that people like fishing, so they join a fishing club. People like Formula One, so then they join that club. People like collecting stamps. They get excited when they look at a stamp, like their heartbeat goes up and blood pressure, just looking at a sort of stamp. So they join the stamp club, running club. We had one devotee who, in the comrades, they would not allow any religious names of groups to run. Like you can't have running for Jesus and this and that. So one devotee, he started a club called the Jagannath Running Club. And the comrades, they didn't know what the word Jagannath meant, and they allowed it. So he ran for Lord Jagannath. So the point I'm making is clubs, association, and Prabhupada stresses we associate with each other in a favorable way. So Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and Bhajana Kriya. After you've associated and you start to hear more about the practice of sadhana bhakti, you begin to follow Kriya, you begin to do bhajan, which means chant Krishna's holy name. There are 64 different items in the practice of bhakti. And the holy name, chanting Krishna's holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, is foremost, is number one. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said the other 63 angas or limbs of bhakti are included in the Maha Mantra. So Maha Mantra is number one, chanting Krishna's holy name. So we start to do this bhajana kriya. We start to rise early or earlier, hopefully before the sun rises. We follow Krishnastami, Janmastami, and tomorrow, of course, is Gopurnim. We celebrate the appearance days of the Lord and his Vaishnavas. So after Bhajana Kriya, when that becomes mature, then you come to the level of Nishta, which means steady devotional service. as against anishta, which means unsteady. So you're very steady in your practice of chanting, even though you may have flu or disease or problem, you still continue with your principles, like a rock, like the rock of Gibraltar or something like that. You just continue nishta, although there may be the difficulties and calamities. Then nishta gradually advances into the stage of ruchi, R-U-C-I. And ruchi means you have real taste. Of course, we have to have taste even on the lower stage, shraddha. But this ruchi becomes more established. It becomes more vibrant. It becomes ruchi, the impetus for our practicing devotional service. And then ruchi matures into the stage of ashakti, where you have great attachment. So there's two types of ashakti. You're attached in a general way to all of the Lord Krishna's pastimes and Ramchandra's pastimes and Nrsingadeva's pastimes. And then the other bhajan, bhajaniya, the other type of ashakti is where you're specifically attached in a more concentrated way to Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. So the Vrindavan pastimes are cowherd boys, Sakya Ras, Madhya Soda, Vatsali Ras, and Madhurya Ras. Then when ashakti becomes mature by the kripa or the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Radharani, or one of her associates, Lalita or Vishaka, one of the Vrindavan associates, one is bestowed with Sudasattva Shakti, and one comes to the level of Bhav, B-H-A-V-A, which means devotional service practiced in ecstasy, devotional service. So this is all in the human form of life. We still have this gross body and subtle mind. And then as you advance on the stage of Bhav, you give up your body and you take a spiritual body in Krishna's pastimes, or Vaikuntha, or Ayodhya, or Dwarka, depending on your eternal relationship with the Lord. So we are on a lower stage, like Bhajana Kriya. So this ceremony is where the different devotees take a vow to follow different principles and to chant Krishna's holy name every day, certain number of rounds. So Srila Prabhupada established 16 rounds. That's without offenses. 16 rounds without the 10 offenses. So one has to read about these 10 offenses. In order to avoid them, you have to know what they are. That's very logical. If I tell you to avoid a certain person in Johannesburg or in Durban, but I don't tell you who he is, where he lives, what he does, then how can you avoid? So you have to know what are the 10 offenses. So I request these initiates to carefully read the 10 offenses. The primary offense, the number one offense, in other words, the quickest way to lose Krishna's mercy, if you want to know, the quickest way is Vaishnava Aparad. And that means you offend, you criticize, or you slander Vaishnavas. Even we must be respectful to Jesus Christ, respectful to Muhammad. So the Padma Purana, there is the verse, Satam Ninda Namaha Parama Aparad. So the word Parama means the worst, the highest. So the highest or the worst aparad is offenses against other devotees. Whether you agree with them or whether you don't, whether they criticize you doesn't mean you criticize them back. I think it's stated in the Mahabharata that if someone criticizes you and you don't react, in other words, you don't criticize them back, then the reaction for those criticisms goes back to that person. We can understand if you curse someone, we don't curse people, but if somehow that you did, if someone cursed another person and the other person accepts it and doesn't become angry or react, then that curse bounces back to the person who gave it. Just like if I come to you and I offer you $100, but you don't accept it, you refuse to accept it, then who is the $100 with? It's with you. So even if people are a little angry towards us or they don't always appreciate us being in a worldwide mission, we should tolerate. And this is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has emphasized the verse Trinadapi Sunichena. We should be as tolerant as a tree. The tree is extremely tolerant. It doesn't ask for water when it's in the sun, and even it provides medicine and leaves, and it gives its wood for furniture, etc. So one should be as tolerant as a tree in order to succeed in spiritual life. So these 10 offenses, please read about them, but the first one is the most important. And I have mentioned now, Satam, Ninda. Ninda means to have bad, evil thoughts, negative thoughts towards another Vaishnava. And who is a Vaishnava? Anyone who's accepted Krishna as a goal of life. It's not that only my guru is a Vaishnava or only Prabhupada's disciples are Vaishnavas. No, anyone who's accepted Krishna or one of his expansions, Ramchandra Nrsimhadev, as the goal of life is a Vaishnava. But of course, there's different levels of Vaishnavas. There's beginning Vaishnavas, slightly more advanced Vaishnavas, intermediate Vaishnavas, and then highly advanced Vaishnavas. So we welcome these Vaishnavas who want to take the vows to make further spiritual advancement. So these vows are not that difficult to follow, really. Probably there's 4 don'ts, which I think you know, 4 don'ts, and 1 do. And the 1 do is to chant. So sometimes this becomes a little problem. We have to give between 1.5 to 2 hours to chant 16 rounds. And Srila Prabhupada says, don't worry about chanting fast, but rather hear the holy name. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also said, one should chant clearly and lovingly. And Prabhupada is written in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, I think chapter 17. Chanting involves the movement of the upper lip, the lower lip, and the tongue. And one should distinctly chant the names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is the verse Nam, Vigraha Swarup, Tina Ekarup. Tina means 3. So these 3 things, Nam, the name, Vigraha, the deity, and Swarup, the original form, are identical. Tina, Eka, Roop. They are all one. Tina, Na, Beta. They're non-different. Tina, Chit, Ananda, Roop. These three things contain unlimited bliss. So the holy name is non-different from the person we're chanting. Vigraha is the form, the deity, like Radha Radhanath, Jagannath, or Nitai Gaura Hari. And Roop is the original form. So 500 years ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago. And tomorrow we're going to celebrate this. And I would have done this ceremony tomorrow, but unfortunately my health isn't very good and I'm not too sure what will happen tomorrow. I'd like to go to the temple, but we have to see. So Nam, Vigraha, Sarup, Tina, T-I-N-A, Tina, Ekarup. These three things are the same. Nama, Chitamani Rasa, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Puna, Siddha, Nitya Mukta, Banapinami Namino. That the holy name of the Lord and his parakas, like Radharani, Mother Yasoda, cowherd boys, they're non-different from the personalities. But there's a problem. When we chant Krishna's holy name, we don't immediately realize that. And that's because we have what is called the jaundice of material life. So when you have jaundice, when you take something sweet, it's not sweet, it's bitter. So the holy name is very sweet and non-different from Krishna and full of Hladini Shakti, pleasure-giving potency. But when we chant it, sometimes we don't always experience that happiness or that bliss because we're suffering from the jaundice of material life. But still, we should continue. We should continue even if we're not feeling so enlivened, even though we may have flu or there is some conflict like in Ukraine going around us or some problem. Still, we should stick to our vows. So we're going to ask the different devotees now, what are the vows? So, so every day you'll chant 16 rounds, and that will take, I do know devotees who do it in 1 hour, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 1 hour, 45 minutes. But I also know devotees who takes them 3 hours. But the point is you should chant and hear. Don't worry about the speed so much. Just hear the holy name. And gradually the holy name will purify your heart. So we'll call out the names of the devotees. So first it's from Lanesia. Shri Nitai Gaura Hari are there. Tomorrow will be their appearance, Lord Chaitanya. It's a very big day. So one devotee and his wife, Viresh Soni and Kalpana Soni. So first, Viresh, you have to tell me now, what are the 4 principles you follow? The 4 don'ts and the 1 do.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribol.
Haribol. So the 4 regulative principles that I have been following and continue will do so is no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no mind-altering substances or intoxications.
Mind altering. Well, that's really good. Does that include coffee?
Definitely, yeah. No coffee. Decaffeinated.
Some devotees take coffee. It's not a big thing. Carry on.
And chanting minimum 16 rounds a day. Always remembering. Krishna, never
Very
forget.
good. Very good.
Thank you,
So we're going to send you the beads.
No, they have beads already.
Oh, you have the beads already. So Viresh, I'm giving you the name Neelakanta Prabhu. So Neela, N-I-L-A, Kanta. Bluish, Neela, Neeladri, Neela, Kanta. It's a nice name, Neela Kanta. Now your good wife, she's called Kalpana.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh, sorry, the 4 principles you're going to follow.
It's no meat eating, no intoxicants, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
And the dues, 16.
Minimum of 16 rounds per day.
Yeah. And if on Akadashi and special days like tomorrow, you can increase a little. You can do 20 rounds, no harm, 25 rounds. So Kalpana, now your new name is Kripalu. That's K-R-P-A-L-U. Kripalu. And Kripa, of course, means mercy. So I pray that both of you become the object of mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nitai Gaura Hari. Go Premanandi. Thank you both. Oh, now this one. Now we're going to call Kunti, who is involved with the Santan mission.
She is Ashraya Radhika's mother.
Oh, Ashraya Radhika's mother. That's very good. Ashraya Radhika. Yes, she's very nice to meet. Haribo, this is Kunti. So you've already got a nice, wonderful name, Kunti. So what are the principles you follow, Kunti?
No gambling, no intoxication, no eating of meat, fish, or eggs, and no illicit sex. And I will chant the minimum of 16 rounds. And on Ekadasi, I will increase it by a few more rounds.
Good. And of course, you cooperate with the ISKCON mission. I think you're helping more in Santan, and you try to help preach. So Kunti, you already have wonderful name. So I've given you the name Kunti Mata Dasi. Kunti, of course, is the mother of the 5 Pandavas and a very exalted devotee. And you should read the prayers of Queen Kunti, which Srila Prabhupada had published as a separate book. Her prayers are very wonderful. So thank you, Kunti Mata Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
And now we're asking from Lenasia, Piesh, very senior and nice, serious devotee. Thank you, Piesh. And Piesh, how old are you?
65.
Ah, you're younger than me.
I look older than you.
No. You look very handsome with that shaved head. So, Piesh, what are the principles you're going to follow?
No gambling, no illicit sex, no meat eating, including eggs and fish, no intoxication,
And every day chant.
and chanting of minimum of 16 rounds a day.
And try to help in the Lenasia temple, the worship of Nitai Gaura Hari. So because you're a resident of Lenasia and getting the mercy of Nitai Gora Hari, we give you the name Gora Chandra. Gora Chandra Prabhu. So Gora, of course, is on the altar. So you are the servant of Gora. And now we will call Mr. Logan to come forward. Mr. Logan helps in the Santon Temple. And we appreciate your help and assistance in ISKCON Santon. So, Mr. Logan, what are the principles?
4 principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
Mhm.
And chant the minimum rounds of 16 rounds
Yes.
daily. Get up early,
And
before sunrise, and also chant extra rounds on Ekadasi and on like
Special.
tomorrow.
yeah. And continue helping with ISKCON Santon. Where do you live then, Logan?
I live in Lenasia, Maharaj.
Oh, but you like going to Santon?
I've embarked on helping in the Govindas and training on bakery side. So I've been to the Santon one, I've done that, and now I've done Phoenix one now recently.
Oh, you were doing the bakery. You're going to go to where Radhadesh and Echo Village.
Yeah, it's correct.
Oh, bakery. Yes, that's right. You wrote to me.
Yes.
Well, you must, when you see me, you must bake something really nice for me. Because I like baked things.
Do that. I don't know, Maharaj remembers in your last Vaishnava Puja, I baked the birthday cake.
Oh, really nice. Thank you so much. Bakery,
Very-
yeah. Cooking, you follow in the footsteps of Mother Yasoda and Radharani, who are very expert at bakery. And you pray for their mercy, so you become even more expert at bakery. So, Clinton, sorry, Logan, I've given you the name, Logan, of Lokanath Kripa Prabhu. So Lokanath Maharaj was one of the 8 Goswamis. There's actually 8 Goswamis. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Shila Jiva, and then Lokanath Goswami and Krishna Das Kaviraj. So Lokanath Maharaj was so humble 500 years ago that when Krishna Das Kaviraj asked him, give me blessings to write the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lokanath Maharaj said, I will give you my blessings as long as you don't mention my name. So there's no name of Lokanath Maharaj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita because he was so humble. So you also try to follow in the footsteps of the original Lokanath. And I would definitely like to know how you're doing in the Echo Village and your pastry lila. We call it pastry lila. So Lokanath, your name now, Lokanath Kripa. Kripa meaning mercy of Lokanath. Kopremanand. Thank you, Lokanath. And now we call Clinton, also involved with the Santon Temple. So Mr. Clinton, I don't think he's a relative of Mr. Bill Clinton, who did come to South Africa years ago. So Mr. Clinton, what are the principles you'll follow?
No gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and to do the 16 rounds, minimum of 16 rounds and an extra on the courtesy fee.
And no meat eating. No sardines. So thank you very much. And where do you live, Clinton?
That's it.
Oh, Santon, good. So you help ISKCON Santon, but also you can come here, go to Nitai Gaurahari, because in the whole of Johannesburg, these are the only installed deities of Gaur Nitai, you see. So very important, this worship of Gaur Nitai in Indonesia. So Mr. Clinton, now your new name is Gora Sarup. Gora Sarup Das. So Gora, of course, is Lord Chaitanya, and Sarup means the form. So because you're involved in worshipping Nitai Gaurahari, and tomorrow is Korponim, I'm giving you that name, Gora Sarup. Go Premanandi, Haribo. Thank you, Gora Sarup.
So we initiate the two devotees that were here. We'll ask Rina.
Oh, yes. So now there's two devotees here. So actually, these devotees I can give the beads to because they're physically here. So these are the beads. Very beautiful Tulsi beads. So first is Rina, and Rina is from Meerbank and helps with ISKCON Meerbank. We have a nice Namahata there. And thank you. This is from Rina. And she's come with her good husband, who will also get initiated, who's going to become very advanced because he listens to what his wife says. It's called handpicked. And two nice, handsome sons who look like Bollywood actors. Salam Khan. So Rina, we're going to ask you. You can say the principles.
No meat eating, fish and eggs, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Oh.
I'm about to chant in minimum 16 round daily.
Right. I forgot to mention daughter also. There's also a Bollywood status. Bollywood status.
I will
So
always remain loyal to Srila Prabhupada's
yes.
mission and never leave it.
Thank you very much. So please help in Meerbank. Who's the Vaishnav there in Meerbank? Panchamri, yeah. I've known him for years and years. His wife, him. He's very nice. Prem, he's really nice devotee. We try to assist and help
I do.
Panchamri. I've known him for over 40 years. So Rina, now your new name, Rina, is Ramaniya. Ramaniya. So Ramaniya, I have a god sister who lives in America and who came here to Pretoria and started preaching in Hammerschool. And she even managed to raise money to buy a house. And her name is Ramaniya. She writes to me now and again. And so Ramaniya now. Haribo. And now we have, this is the last one. Yes. Abai from Durban, from Gumtree Road. That's for those people that don't know, Gumtree Road is a road that has lots of gum trees. And it's in Sikar Lake. And I first went to Sikar Lake in 1978. And it was the winter. And we lived in a temple. We lived in the tent in Triumph Road. And it was in June, the middle of winter. And it was so cold, we got a 50-gallon oil tank that was empty, and we lit a fire. and we put it outside, and we slept in our sleeping bags around the fire in the middle of winter. You can do things like that when you're younger. But when you get older, you need the aircon. You need the heater. But when you're young, austerity is not a problem. It's not, austerity is all right. So I don't regret that at all. So that was in Gumtree Road. And one of our first devotees there was Mr. Dan, and teacher, and teacher's wife, Gayatri. And they lived in Gumtree Road. So he's your
Dan is my dad.
uncle.
Dan is my
Dan, yeah. Then Dan he was a jeweler, and he called his shop Haribol Jewelers. And I used to go and see him, and very wonderful Vaishnava. And I used to go to that house where Dan and his wife Lalita, it was sort of like a tallish house, 2-story. And I don't know if I stayed there, but so that's basically, you live across the road now, isn't it? Yes. So your mother and you and your good brother.
Yes, and I'm.
Oh, there he is. He's unlimited. He's really unlimited. He's unlimitedly handsome. I can't imagine which lady will fall in love with him. But his name is Ananta. So now the principles you'll follow, which you've been following anyhow.
I vow no gambling, no meat eating, which includes fish or eggs, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. And I vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds daily and to never leave ISKCON and your lotus feet.
And what about sardines? You won't go to the sardine rush when they all go there with their buckets. So Abai, of course, is Prabhupada's name, Abai, and it means fearless. Bai, Bhay, means fear. So in this material world, there's fear at every step. Like you drove here, but you're looking in the mirror, you're looking on the right and the left, hijacking. And I told my secretary, Sridham, when they come here, what if their cars get hijacked? I was thinking of you, because cars get hijacked. So all the time is fear. It's COVID, it's a recession, so you lose your job. A couple of years ago, there was riots in Durban and people actually died. Terrible. And we see now, I looked on the internet, there's 50 armed conflicts going on throughout the world. The one we hear about, of course, is Ukraine and Russia, but there's Gaza and there's other, these are armed conflicts, not nice. And the reason why we have all these miseries is because people are engaging in sinful activity. And of course, the prime sinful activity would be killing the cow and abortion. 200,000 abortions every day. So definitely we avoid this. So Abai, you have such a nice name. So I just extended it to Abai Acharya. So Acharya, of course, means teach by example. So I hope you're going to teach by example and liberate everyone in Sikar Lake and Triumph Road, and especially in Gumtree Road, including the gum trees. So those are the principles. And in the fire sacrifice, or also is one wonderful disciple of Ram Govinda Maharaj. Her name is Narayani, and she's disciple. She'll also be in throwing the grains in the oven. Ram Govinda Maharaj, although he's second generation or third generation, he's my superior in spiritual realization and age. And I very much appreciate his involvement in South Africa. And he's really a wonderful Vaishnava. He's a genuine Vaishnava, Ram Govinda Maharaj. So this initiation means now you're connected officially. Of course, even if you're not initiated, you can still chant Krishna's holy name. In ISKCON, you can wear the tilak and take shelter of Prabhupada's teachings on Bhagavad Gita. When you take the vows in front of the 5 witnesses, then it becomes more official. And the 5 witnesses are the Vaishnavas, all of you. So you've made promises, vows in front of Vaishnavas. Then number 2 in front of the Guru. And number 3 in front of the deity. And then number 4 in front of the fire, who represents Agni, also the Lord. What's the 5th one? Anyhow, there are 5. So you're connected. You should understand that you're connected to Srila Prabhupada, but Prabhupada's also connected to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. It doesn't stop with Prabhupada. It goes to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Gokisho, Bhakti Vinod, goes all the way up to Rupan Raghunath, Lokanath Goswami, and then it goes to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva. So you should never separate the Guru from the Guru Vaga. Guru Vaga or Guru Dara means the Guru line. It's not with some separate. We're connecting to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Bhakti Vinod. And ISKCON is Prabhupada's personal contribution to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching mission. There are other bona fide disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta who we respect and we bow down to them. But our particular line is with Srila Prabhupada. And through him, we can get the mercy of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Gokisho, Bhakti Vinod, and all the way back to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Madhavendra Puri. I think on Monday was Madhavendra Puri's. Yeah. So never separate your guru from the Guru Parampara, and don't separate the Guru Parampara from your guru. And also the word guru, it's not singular. It's not one. It's plural. For instance, you have Siksha Guru. So in South Africa, Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, Ram Govinda Maharaj are preaching. Others come also, Siksha Gurus. They can be also your own god brothers and god sisters who are slightly more advanced than you are. So we should understand Guru is plural. Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Param Guru, that's Prabhupada for you. Param Guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, all the way back. So we should always respect Guru and our seniors. This is Mayada. This is the etiquette. We don't break the etiquette. So thank you all very much. And I think now they're going to have the fire sacrifice in Midrand. And I pray to all the Vaishnavas in Midrand, Santon, Lenasia, and Pretoria, and of course Phoenix, Radha, Jagannath Subhadra, and of course Radha Radhanath, and all over the South African continent. I pray that they can remain fixed in their principles and receive the mercy of Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
His Holiness Partha Sarathi Das Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you, Maharaj, and congratulations to all those new disciples. We know and pray that they will serve Srila Prabhupada's mission seriously on your behalf. We now hand over to the Pujari to complete the rest of the yajna.
Hi, Krishna. So, congratulations to all the devotees. So, we're very excited. We're wishing you all the best. We're going to do a bit of logistics right now. So, for those who haven't garlanded Srila Prabhupada, you can garland Prabhupada and garland Guru Maharaj Shyam Vyasathan as well thereafter. Offer your obeisances, and then you can take your seats again, and we'll begin with the Atman.
Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. So, dear devotees, I want you to put your palms together in front of your chest in the pranam mudra, and I want you to gaze upon your water, and I will recite this mantra, and you meditate on it, re-invoking the Ganga into this vessel here that you'll be using for Achman. Om Gangascha Yamunachaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Janasanidim Kuru. Okay, so now you're going to repeat this mantra after word for word after me. It's from the Garuda becomes externally and internally clean. So you can repeat after me. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yasmaret Pundarikaksha Savaya Avayantara Suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Om Apavitra Pavitrova Savavasta Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksha Savaya Avayandra Suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavasta Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksha Sabaya Abhayantara Suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. So I want you to take the spoon in your right hand and just throw some drops of water on your left, and then similarly pick the spoon up with your left hand and throw some drops in your right. Okay, discard it. Then taking some drops of water with the spoon in your left hand, place the water in your right palm, and looking upon the water, you chant Om Keshavaya Namaha, and there we go. And you sip from the base of your palm, preferably not touching your lips. If you can, if you can't, it's okay. But make sure you sip from here, because Vishnu resides here, the base of your palm. Okay, you're going to sprinkle some drops of water on your hand. And then again, place a few more drops in the base of your right hand. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Repeat that procedure, some water to cleanse the hand. For the last time, a few drops in the base of your right hand. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Okay, now you can cleanse both your hands. Om Govindaya Namaha. Okay, so we're going to have some kirtan now. What I will do is I'm going to discard inauspicious fire to the southwestern side of the Kund. That's for the funeral pyres. And then we will invoke the Agni Dev who resides through all the 14 planetary systems. And then everyone should make sure you have grains in front of you. So I will tell you how to use the grains after we've performed the puja, but we'll just have some kirtan now in the background.
The recording has stopped.